Originally, the intent was to replace the shingles on the roof. And it was a fairly simple project if we were just thinking about replacing the shingles, but then we went inside and started looking at the timber frame. It's a 300-year-old structure. We started looking at the timber frame, and there are a lot of disconnections in the trusses, and that caused some concern. So we brought in a structural engineer who did an analysis of the framing in order to try and understand how it is working and how it has managed to stay in place. But our concern was that if we had roofers who do not necessarily understand timber framing or structural issues, taking the shingles off of the roof, that it might cause disturbance to the structure itself. In the process of that, we brought in Rudy, timber framer from Ohio, and essentially we went up and we started looking at the disconnections, but then we looked at the rafter feet, and the feet come down, there's a plate, and the foot comes down into the plate. It doesn't key into it. There's two nails that hold it in place, and a significant number of those connections, turned out the wood was rotted. So right now, the stage that we're at is, well, let's see. Last year, they came in and they removed 2 feet of roofing on each side of the structure in order to expose the rafters as they came down, because though you can see rot on the interior and poke it with an awl, you can't tell how much rot channels up on the exterior side. So we opened it up on both sides, and they were able to determine exactly how much of the timbers need to be repaired, and also have come up with a solution for securing the anchors of the rafters where they come down and meet with the plate. What they're doing with the rafters that are not rotted, they're putting in structural screws into the rafters at an angle to hold them in place. So, because essentially you have a structure like this that's sitting on a stone wall, and the tendency is for it to go like that. And if it goes like that, then the whole roof could collapse. And then the rafters that need to be that are rotted, that need to be repaired, we have some eastern white pine that was donated, lumber, timber, that they will mill down to the size to match to the existing, and then they'll sister that in to make new pieces on the bottom. And they're also doing temporary, not temporary, but stabilization repairs on the interior, so that we are at a situation that when it does come to the point that the shingles are replaced, that the structure will be intact and able to hold the activity, which include vibrations and people jumping up and down and all different kinds of things.